Alright, we are in 3.3 slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, like so, where m is the slope of the line. If you feel like you can do slope, go ahead and move on. But slope is kind of tricky, so if you need to look at the slope formula again, then stick around. Okay, so let's say they give you these points. They say -2, -3. I'm just going to pause while I write this down. Okay, they give you these coordinates in this table, and they ask you to find the slope. These are x's, these are y's. And you can take any 2 points and compare them with this formula, and it'll give you the slope. So, for instance, if I pull out -2, -3, and 2, -1, here's my x, here's my y, here's my 1, here's my 2. Right? That's 0.1, 0.2. That's a terrible 2. There you go. 0.1, 0.2, which means this is x1, this is x2, y1, y2. And then the formula for slope is rise over run, where rise means y movement. So we're going to go y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So let's see, y2 is -1, minus y1 is -3, minus a -3 gives me a +3. Always remember, minus a negative is a plus. Divided by x2, which is 2, minus a negative 2. So that's -1 plus 3 is 2, over 2 plus 2 is 4. So my slope is 1/2, because 2 over 4 reduces to 1/2. And now, as proof of concept, I'm going to do it with the other 2 points that we didn't use from that earlier table, with 0, 2, and 4, 0. X, y, 1, 2, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. y2 is 0, minus 2, over x2 is 4, minus 0, minus a -2. No, that's a positive 2. Something's not working out here. That's going to give me -1/2. Oh, it was a -2. It was a -2. I wrote it down wrong. Okay, anyway, 0 plus 2 is 2, 4 minus 0 is 4, 2 over 4 reduces to 1/2. Sorry about the little hiccup there. Okay, so we've covered what the m is. The m is the slope. That's the y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That's what we did earlier. That's the number that goes here. B is the y-intercept, which is where the line will cross over the y-axis. And that happens when x equals 0. So if we look back at that original table, they gave us -2, -3. They gave us 0, -2. And I'm going to stop right there because this is x, this is y. And I said we were looking for a coordinate where x equals 0, and they gave it to us right here. When x equals 0, y equals -2. So this b I can replace with -2. And if you'll remember, the slope was 1/2. So the equation we're working with now is y equals 1/2 x minus 2. From this Here, I'll complete it. 2, -1, 4, 0. This table produces this equation by working out the slope first and then the y-intercept second. We worked out the slope earlier and we got 1/2. Then we worked out the y-intercept and we got -2. We worked out the y-intercept by just looking. We didn't have to. If they didn't give it to us, then here's what we could have done. We could have gone y equals 1/2 x plus b. We could have taken two of the points, like 4, 0. We could have taken 4, 0 and put in 4 for x. 4 times half is 2. And 2 plus what equals 0, because we're trying to get it to equal 0. So what do you have to do to 2 to make it equal 0? You got to subtract 2. And that would have given us -2 for b. Does that make sense? I wish you could answer me. Next, they give us an equation in standard form and ask us to convert it into slope-intercept form. So what we do is we need to get the y alone on the left side. So we're going to subtract 2x, subtract 2x. We've got -3y equals -2x plus 6. We're close. We've got the mx plus b, mx plus b. But this y is still being multiplied by a -3. So we've got to divide it by -3, divide by -3, divide by -3. So that y equals negative over negative means the negative goes away. 2/3 x. 6 divided by -3 is -2. 2/3 x minus 2. And now we've got it in slope-intercept form. Alright, next we're going to graph an equation in the slope-intercept form. I've got a graph made up, which is decent. And this is the equation that worked out from that problem a minute ago. So I'm just going to reuse it. So the easiest way to graph this is to start at the y-intercept. Start at 0, -2. If we pull this down, the y-intercept would be 0, -2. So we're going to start at the origin and just count down 2 places. Start right here. And if the slope is 2/3, that means we can go up by 2, 1, 2, and over by 3, 1, 2, 3. Put a dot there. And you can do that by going negative on both of them as well, which means go down by 2 and to the left by 3. Here you go. Now we've got 3 points, which makes a line. Pretty simple, right? And that's where we'll call it quits for that lesson. I'll meet you in the next one.